Hi everyone, why are you here? Hello. Why did you watch it? Why did you click on this episode? What are you expecting here right now? I don't know, because I'm currently recording it, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just scared you are. This is fine. This is fine, guys. Especially what Susa is saying to us right now. This is okay. This is fine. Last episode we had the entire, I think, just Kirisu arc in general. Because you changed timelines, you met Kirisu again. We are still talking about Kirisu because Kagari apparently has her memories for some reason, which we don't know how. Maybe we'll find out. Let us continue then. Goddamn, hopefully you won't regret clicking on this episode. Let's continue. Kagari has Makisa Kirisu's memories, yes. Susa didn't seem as surprised as I had expected, okay. Maho and I asked her some more questions after that. About Victor Condria. About her research. Her answers were all over the place. Some things she knew, and some things she didn't. But some of the things she knew were things that only Maho and Kurisu would have known. In the end, instead of being overturned, my hypothesis came out even stronger. All the questions seemed to tire Kagari out, and with Tenochi's permission, Lukako took her home. Okay. Maho completely refused to accept what I was saying, but did say before she left that she'd look into whether it was possible to transfer Amadeus's memory data into a human brain. And that night, I explained the situation to Suzuha. That? How? How?
Yeah,
Yeah, she just knows shit that she isn't supposed to know.
二重人格っていうのは正確には乖離性同一性障害といって誰かの中に別の人格ができることだ。言うなれば今の自分に対する不満や不安から自らの中に別の人格を作ってしまうようなものだな。
I'm not thinking of JoJo Part 5. Once in a while, there would be a case where someone would take the personality of the man or woman they admired, but usually it was a completely original one.
でも、Kagariの場合は違う。
Also, isn't it a fact that with multiple personality disorders, you have disjointed memories? So let's say that one of Kagari's personalities was Makisa Kurisu. In that sense, Kagari herself wouldn't know the things that Makisa Kurisu knows. There would be some kind of switch, right? I think their memories are disjointed from each other. I think? I'm not sure though. Maybe not in all cases. We'll see though.
Kagariの中にあるのは人格じゃない。文字通り、マキセ・クリスの記憶だけだ。
いや。
クリスの記憶だけが彼女の頭の中に混在していると考えられる。
Kagari's memories weren't overwritten. She still had them. So they had mixed together.
なるほど。2036年の技術では、それは決して不可能な話じゃない。
But why? How?
じゃあ、
When?
2036年からのタイムトラベラーであるカガリなら十分その可能性はあるということか。
でもさ、カガリたんは10歳より前の記憶はあるわけっしょ？
いや。
他人の記憶をぶち込まれるなんてことされたら、その時のことを覚えてるはずじゃね？
Maybe there's a trigger for her to remember. I don't know.
あの子は幼い頃、たまに神様の声が聞こえるって言っていたような気がする。
Oh, true! True, I almost forgot about that.
幻聴か。
Hallucination?
クリスの記憶から滲み出てきたものっていうのは考えられる。
I don't know. I feel like there should be a cleaner explanation for that.
ただ未来はこの時代ほどのどかじゃなかった。物資も人も足りてなかったんだ。記憶を移植するなんていう技術は実用化されているとしても軍の機密扱いだよ。
Yeah.
一般人の、しかも子供に使ったとは思えないな。
I don't know who did this to her.
カガリは繊細孤児だった。
Yeah.
PTSD を治療するためにそういう技術が使われたということは。
だからって他人の記憶を移植するのはさすがに変だ。
Yeah.
だな。
If anything, they would probably take some memories from her to cure that.
記憶のない時期、1998年以降にその移植が行われた可能性が高くなってくるが。
Yeah.
2036年なら可能でもさ、今の技術でできるもんなん？
I was about to ask that now. How did this shit get developed, hello?
クリスなら可能だろう。
But why would Krisu develop this? She'd done it all by herself to make the time leap machine after all.
マキセ・クリスがカガリに自分の記憶を移植したって？
Yeah, why would she do that?
彼女はそんなマッドサイエンティストみたいなことをする人だったの？
Ho and Kyoma would be proud. There was no way. It was impossible. It had to be. And there weren't many people as smart as Makise Krisu. If she didn't do it, I couldn't imagine anyone else would.
そうだよな。
Dude, is there like a third time travel or some shit?
突飛な発想すぎるよな。俺だってそう思う。
How do we research this more? I might have been getting too attached to my own idea.
でもクリスしか知り得ないことをカガリが知っているのは間違いないんだ。
例えば幽霊になったマキセ氏の魂がカガリタンに乗り移った的なことだったりして。
That's not a scientific explanation.
お前そんなオカルト話をヒアジョーさんの前ででも披露してみろ。全力で論破されるぞ。
Yeah, dismissed
で
non-scientific.
すよね。
In the end, I realized there was nothing I could do for Kagari but watch for a while to see how things went. We were just students without any kind of specialized knowledge. True, no matter how much we debated or what ideas we came up with, we wouldn't be able to find the answers easily.
そういえばダル、ユキさんはどうしてる？
Yeah, I guess there's nothing else we can do, but it's still frustrating, man.
天音なら毎日バイト忙しいみたいだよ。
Work, quote unquote. What is she even working as?
彼女は何のバイトをしているんだった？
Yeah.
ケーキ屋さんって聞いてる。美味しいから一度食べに来てって言われた。
そうそう。でもちょっと遠いんだよね。
I don't trust this.
だからこそ言ったら喜ばれるんじゃないか。しっかりしてよ、父さん。
Get a grip, Dad!
あはい、さあせん。
But
つうかオカリン、なんでいきなりそんなこと聞くん？
I don't know
Yeah.
why he's asking that either.
ちょっと気になってな。
That girl in the motorcycle suit. Could that have been Amane Yuki? Apparently, like what is frustrating me, apparently in one timeline it was Moika. But then in the very first timeline where this where this woman with the motorcycle helmet fought with Suzuha, it really felt like that was Kagari and not Moika. So what the fuck is happening, man? I still hadn't convinced myself it wasn't her. If it was, she may be involved in some way with what was happening to Kagari. But that attack only took place in the other world line. It hadn't happened in this one, so I had no way to tell.
もし彼女のことで何か。
母さんがどうかしたの？
You can't discuss them with the daughter of this woman and the man of this woman, okay?
いや、なんでもない。
Yeah. I still didn't have any proof. I'd have to just keep an eye on her. My priority right now was Kagari. What had happened during the time when she'd lost her memories. If I could find that out, I might be able to understand what was about to happen to us. Yeah, then we have to wait until Moika gets us more info.
それじゃ
Or
あ始めるわよ。
we have to stalk Daru's wife. So, both not great options. Although, like, waiting for Moika sounds way more reasonable. Get started. Get started on wine? Maho came to the lab the next day. She was there to look at Kagari's memories. Kagari had volunteered to work with her, okay. As of yesterday, my hypothesis didn't leave the realm of delusions. Not yet. And anytime she saw a hypothesis, she wanted to test it. Maybe that's just how scientists were.
まずはこれ
The
を見てもら
scientist's
える？
brain. Wayne? Look at Wayne? Mao held up a cell phone. There was a picture displayed on its screen. It was a corridor with white walls and clean white floors, and two people wearing white lab coats were walking down it.
これがどこだかわかる？学校？どこの？ビクトル・コンドリア大学の。
Damn.
この手前に歩いてる人、彼の名前は？ト
Kare?
ニー・ブラウン。あだ
Who?
名は JB。興奮すると独特のステップを踏むから。
JB?
じゃあこっちの彼女は？わかんない。
どうだ？
彼女も私たち研究者の間では かなり有名な子よ。
Oh.
クリスだって当然知ってるはずだわ。
Why does she only know certain things?
仮にカガリがクリスの記憶を持っているとしても完全に全てを思い出せているわけじゃないみたいだ。
That's how it had seemed yesterday too.
記憶として呼び起こされるものとそうじゃないものがあるんじゃないのか。
But why? What is triggering this?
だからってこの程度じゃまだクリスの記憶だと断言はできないわ。
What do you mean?
彼らのことくらい調べれば誰だってわかることだもの。かがりさん、もう少し突っ込んだ質問をしてもいい？
Damn, she looks like she's struggling.
去年の冬、私とクリスで映画を見に行ったことがあるの。
Okay.
ヒアジョーさんとクリスが？
意外？私たちだってたまには息抜きをする。
Girl
普
time.
段は研究ばかりだけど。
It was surprising actually. I hadn't thought they'd interact outside of work. I think it's cute.
研究でちょっと詰まってた私をあの子が連れ出してくれたのよ。
I see.
たまたまチケットが2枚あるからって。
Yeah, just so happened that way. It's just like how a man asks a girl on a date. Yeah, so what? She never was any good with that stuff.
その時に見た映画のタイトルわかるかしら？ボブ・ワイナー監
Oh. Hello? Did I click on something?
督の彼と彼女の予感？
Huh? Holy shit. That's crazy, yeah? Maho gulped. That must have been the right answer.
それって最近の映画か？聞いたことないが。
Dude, if that was not the correct answer, that would have been such a random answer to give to this question. That would have been so random.
20年前の作品、そのリバイバル上映だったのよ。
Oh shit. And Kagari had guessed it. Or maybe she knew of it, okay? She'd known the title of a movie that Krisa and Maho had gone to see together in private. And since it wasn't a major worldwide release, it wasn't something you could get with a lucky guess.
でもそれも誰か目撃していた人がいればわか
Oh
る
my
こと
god.
よ。
Maho's so coping right now.
だが君が今日そんな質問をするということは予想できなかったはずだ。カガリがそのために細かい情報まで全て暗記したとでも？
Yeah. It wouldn't be possible and she didn't have a reason to bother anyway.
私だってそのくらいのことわかってるわ。
She's coping. Right now, I could tell from the pained expression on her face that Maho was struggling with something. And I was starting to realize what it was. She didn't want to admit it. She didn't want to admit it was possible. It was winter, but Kagari's forehead was dripping with sweat again. Going through her confused memories may have been putting a lot of stress on her.
これぐらいにしよう。カガリがきつそうだ。
Yeah.
待って、最後にもう一つだけ聞かせて。
Okay.
いいよ、どうぞ。
Damn, she's struggling. Kagari nodded and motioned for her to go ahead.
子供の頃、あなたが一番大切にしていたものは何？子供の頃。
I think she won't remember Krisu's side of this, right? Because her childhood memories are still intact.
それはアメリカに移住してからもずっと部屋に置いてあった。
Is it this plushie? I don't know.
イルカのぬいぐるみ。
A stuffed
水
dolphin?
族館に行った時、パパが買ってくれた。
How? How? Maho sighed and sunk onto the sofa.
合ってるのか？
Shit.
昨日クリスのお母さんが電話で教えてくれたわ。このことを知ってるのはクリスとご両親だけ。
What in the hell?
それじゃあ
悔しいけどあなたの仮説を否定できない。
Yeah,
そうか。
that's scary, bro. Who did this to you?
私どうなっちゃうのかな。
I don't know. I don't know. Will you get replaced by Krisu at some point? I don't know. I didn't have an answer. I didn't even know how this had happened in the first place. The only possibility I can think of was Was?
係さん、
Amadeus?
付き合わせて悪かったわね。ゆっくり休んで。
Maho stood up with a serious expression on her face.
帰るのか？
ええ。自分なりにまだ検証できることは残っていそうだから。
Okay.
それじゃあ、また。
I guess she'll check whether you can transfer memories from the Amadeus data they have. I suppose. Maho got up and went for the door without bothering to look back. Damn. That really hit her, huh? She seemed to be silently shutting out the entire world. All we could do was watch her go. That's also her locked-in modus, you know? She shuts down everything else. Oh shit, Maho's POV. Yo, girl, what you gonna find out? Don't make Dr. Leskinen sus again, I swear to God. Hyojo Maho stared at her computer monitor in a daze. The rest of the world was still feeling the afterglow of New Year's excitement. The last time she'd come to Japan, it was still in the heat of summer. She'd used her vacation days to come then. Her coworker Makisa Kriso had suddenly died, and she wanted to see the place where she was murdered herself. Yep. Maho's feelings for Makisa Kriso were complicated, I know. Until Kriso had come to her lab, Maho had thought herself a genius. She'd graduated high school after skipping grades and joined the university lab while still in her teens. It was understandable that she'd feel that way. Everyone else said she was a genius too. But their pride was shattered into tiny little pieces by the arrival of Makisa Kriso. Yup, Makisa Kriso was the real thing. Maho didn't even come close to her. She had realized that she could never be as smart as Kriso. But Kriso admires you too! We have that confirmation, even though it was a different timeline, a world line. And she realized that she didn't want to be beaten by her anyway. It would have been so much easier if she could have hated her. It would have been so much easier to hate Kriso. But Makisa Kriso wouldn't even allow her that much. Damn. Wow. Where's the spite coming from right now? She was a dedicated scientist, and that dedication carried over to her treatment of Maho too. I see her.
先輩のその研究うまくいけば革命的な成果が得られると思います。
Damn.
私に何かできることがあれば手伝いますから言ってくださいね。
And yet Maho is spiteful of her. Ah, shit sucks, man. And jealous. Someday she swore she'd surpass her. Someday she swore she'd make Kriso say that she was the smarter one. But now that would never happen. Makisa Kriso went away on a trip and never came back. She went to go milk and we never saw her again. Maho had been told that she'd been attacked by a robber and killed. But it didn't seem real. It felt like she'd come back to the lab. She would come back to the lab any day now and start arguing with the professors with that same self-satisfied smirk on her face. Until then, Maho would work on the Amadeus project, so that when Kriso came back, she would be amazed. Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. Sorry, I have always that song in my head, man. An artificial intelligence that could be loaded with an individual's memories. It was possible to digitalize memories by analyzing the nerve signals relating to the memories stored in the temporal lobe. It had been Kriso, of course, who proved it. Of course. And then Maho and her team had turned that proof into usable technology. By the time Kriso got back, she would have it all ready for the next level. She'd show it to Kriso and astonish her, but even that hope didn't last long. She was suddenly told that the project was cancelled. Of course she couldn't accept it, but no matter what she said, no matter how many times she argued with the professor, she couldn't get the cancellation overturned. So, like, Maho probably doesn't want it to be cancelled because of her pride as a researcher, and her pride to finally surpass Kriso and be better than her. But at the same time, like, such technology is actually dangerous, so I'm actually kinda, like, glad that this project was shut down. Man. I don't know. It just sucks, man. Amadeus went to sleep at the bottom of the lab server, along with Makisa Kriso's digitized memories. Makisa Kriso's memories. Now they were in the head of another girl. How had that happened? There was only one possibility, if it was possible at all. Just like Okabe Rintaro had said. Oh?
Oh yeah.
Huh? Hello? The door opened and a large man she knew very well came inside. What are you doing here?
魔法、どうしたんだい？まだニューイヤーハリデーのはずだが。
She locked in.
そういう教授こそ
Yeah?
わざわざ休みの日に出てきてるじゃないですか。
Sus? Maho's mentor, Dr. Leskinen, was here in Japan for a month-long conference on artificial intelligence. Maho had come with him as his assistant. but the conference didn't take place every day, so they spent the time between sessions at the Japanese office, making presentation materials and exchanging emails.
私の場合、休みといっても特にすることもないからね。ホテルにこもっていても息が詰まるだけだし、それならここに来て仕事をしていた方がいい。
Do you have no hobbies, man?
だったら私も似たようなものです。
Damn. No hobbies, huh? For a researcher, doing research was a hobby. Okay, fine. Refute me then, I guess. If nothing else, all the scientists Maho knew were like that. Of course she'd come here today because she'd assumed Dr. Leskinen would feel that way. Oh, so she planned to meet him here?
君にはいろいろとやることがあるだろう。例えば、デートとか。
Oh my god, stop with this bullshit, Leskinen, I swear to god.
教授、あんまりしつこいとセクハラで訴えますよ。
She threatens us in every word line, I feel like.
おっと、それだけは勘弁してくれ。
He also refuted, like, answers to this in the same way as well. Dr. Leskinen slumped his shoulders in the unique way that Caucasians always overreact. That is a strange sentence out of context. What? Or even with context. He seemed intent on bringing Maho and Okabe together. She and Okabe were both friends of Krisus, and so they talked a lot, but there was nothing more to it than that. At least that's what she thought. Probably? Okay.
それじゃあ、お詫びというわけじゃないですが、一つ聞いてもいいですか？
訴訟されないで済むのなら何なりと。
じゃあ聞きますけど、アマデウスは今どうなっているんですか？
どうも何も。今のところ進められる目処が立っていないことは君だってよく知っているはずだよ。
He's like gaslighting her. There's nothing wrong with Amadeus. Everything Amadeus is like thrown into the deep end. Nobody uses that. Totally not.
それは分かってます。私が聞きたいのは、アマデウスのデータはどうなっているかということです。
It's under lock and key, I hope.
研究室のサーバーに保管されているね。
Okay.
誰かがアクセスしたり持ち出したりは？
Leskinen's eyes narrowed and he slowly shook his head.
マホ、君がなぜそんな疑問を持ったのか私にはわからないが、エムデウスへのアクセス権はごく限られた一部の人間にしかないし、
Yes, she
不正
knows.
にアクセスされたという事案も起こってはいないはずだ。少なくとも今まで私のところにそのような報告はもたらされていない。
Then what is happening then?
私やクリスの記憶データも？
もちろん。
それじゃあ、他に私が知らない人工知能のプロジェクトが動いているなんてこともありませんか？
Are you hiding shit from me, Leskinen?
あるわけがない。我々の研究チームにはマホ、君の力が必要不可欠だ。
Which is not because she feels unimportant.
私たちはクリスという才能を失った。
Yes.
それは大いなる損失だったが、彼女のいなくなった穴を埋められるのは君だけだと思っている。そんな君の知らないところで新たなプロジェクトなどを進めるはずがないだろう。
I love how I always see him as evil now. Like, is he telling the truth? I don't know. Is he evil in this world line? I don't fucking know.
そうですか。
Bruh. The compliment felt like a bit too much for her to take at face value. There were a lot of scientists who are always looking to get a leg up on the competition. If someone else got the glory first, everything you worked on until that point would be useless. Even in the same team, there were only a few people you could really trust. But to Maho, Dr. Leskin was one of those people. Well, I hope he won't betray that
質問
trust.
に対する答えはこれでいいかな？
はい。
Well,
では、私からの質問もいいかい？
huh?
どうして急にそんなことを聞くんだ？
Wouldn't you like to know?
それは
Don't tell him.
もしかして自分の秘密が誰かに漏れていないか心配にでもなったのかな？
Your secrets, huh?
まあそんなところです。
それなら心配ない。いかにエメデウスとはいえ 本人が秘密にしたいことは喋らないようにできている。君だって知っているはずだよ。
Well...
それは保存されたデータについても言える。
There's something fucked up because, you know, Kagari exists.
仮に何者かがデータを盗んだところで、本人がどうしても知られたくない部分はブラックボックスになっている。M デウスからはもちろん、記憶データからも取り出すことは不可能だ。
Yeah.
秘密が漏れるとしたら、その記憶を持つ生身の人間からだけだね。
記憶を持つ生身の人間。
What does he mean by that?
そう、つまり本人だけということだ。
Oh.
どうだい？少しは安心したかい？
I don't think Risu did this to Kagari though. I don't even know what Kagari is, bro.
ええ、まあ
Kagari could have been created in a lab for all I know. It wasn't that she didn't trust Dr. Leskinen, but she couldn't relax until she'd seen for herself that no one had taken the data. Maha only thought it was possible to believe something after you'd seen it yourself. That's how she thought a scientist should be. I see. But right now she didn't have the access right to do so. So in the end she was stuck with her doubts. She knew this was going to happen, but she couldn't stop herself from asking anyway. Oh shit.
二人ともいたのね。
The other killer is here, let's go. Dr. Reyes walked through the door just as she finished the conversation with the professor. Finished her conversation with the
ま
professor.
ったく、せっかくのホリデーだというのに、物好きね。
Nope.
レイエス教授こそ。
私はホテルにいてもやることなんてないから。
Oh my god, they are all the same! Everyone! Mao exchanged a glance with Dr. Leskin and then shrugged. That's just how scientists work. I guess so.
何なのよ。
This laugh, bro.
なんでもないです。
Dude, this feels so, like, weird to see all three of them laughing together, even though, like, Dr. Reyes tried to kill Maho, Dr. Leskin and somehow, like, manipulated Maho's brain for some reason, somehow, I don't really know how yet. Bruh. This feels weird, okay? She and Dr. Leskin laughed at Reyes' confusion, but the doubts in her mind lingered. Good, because they should, because everyone around you is fucking sus AF. Ah, maybe an intro has more luck, I don't know. Kuriso's memories were inside Kakari's head. Fact. Several days had passed since I'd begun to suspect my hypothesis was correct. Okay.
ごめんなさい。オカリンさんにはいろいろ迷惑かけちゃって。
You, I'm sure you have no fault in this, okay? You simply exist, and we don't know how or why.
別に迷惑だなんて思ってない。
Yeah.
それに俺なんかよりもルカ子やマユリの方がいろいろと気を配ってくれてるはずだ。
Damn, how humble. In fact, Mayuri and Lukaku were doing a very good job of taking care of her. Mayuri may not have realized it, but Kagari looked up to her as a mother figure. And after living under the same roof for so long, Lukaku had come to care for her a lot. So sweet.
そんな、僕なんてただ話し相手になるくらいで。
So?
マユシーこそ何の役にも立ってあげられなくてごめんね。
Emotional support is also very important. For real.
そんなことないよ。ルカ君はすごくよくしてくれてるし、ママはいてくれるだけで嬉しいし。
Yeah. Especially mother. Miley fidgeted in embarrassment when she heard the word mommy. Cute. I could understand why. It must feel strange to be called mommy at her age, especially by someone who was older than she was. That is so weird, bro. That's so strange.
ねえママ。なに？ギュッてしていい？
Aww.
ギュ？子供の頃にママがよくやってくれたみたいにギュッてしてもいい？
Aww.
ママ、照れちゃうな。ダメ？
Yeah, I thought so. Miley would never refuse someone in need of a hug, okay? So cute. Miley smiled and nodded, and Kagari gave her a big hug with a huge grin on her face.
かがりちゃん、いい かいい子。
Aww. Mayuri is so sweet as a mother figure. Mayuri never asked for details, but she seemed to sense that what was happening to Kagari. She probably understood that this was the best thing she could do right now. He had to comfort her.
ママ、
It was strange. Kagari was a lot older, but when they were like this, they really did look like mother and child.
ありがとうママ。
Aww. So cute. Kagari slowly moved away from Mayuri. She looked a lot calmer than she had a moment ago. Nice. It was probably okay to talk to her now. Here comes the sledgehammer of truth
鏡
and fact.
調子はどうだ？
調子か。
Nothing
ね、
ever
なんだかよくわからないかな。
don't know. Also, nothing ever comes from the question, how are you doing right now? How are you faring right now?
よくわからないとは？
ふとした瞬間に思い出すことがあるんだけど、それが自分のものなのかクリスさんのものなのかわかんないの。難しい数式とか実験とか理解はできてないんだけど知ってるみたいな。
Huh. I don't understand them, but I know them. Kagari's only memories were of her time as a child and the time since Lukaku's father's friend had found her. Krisa's memories would appear sometimes and fill the gap in between. I couldn't even imagine how that must have felt. Honestly, same.
この前もね、パパのことを思い出したの。 子供の頃、パパに褒められた時の記憶。
I think those are Krisa's memories. Also, like, if I had such distorted memories, I would question my identity, bro. This shit is scary, man.
それを思い出して、なんだかすごく嬉しかったんだけどね。でも私、赤ちゃんの頃に両親死んじゃったし、それからはまゆりママに育ててもらったから、パパなんて知らないんだよね。
Well, Krisa knows though.
だけど、自分が経験したことじゃないのに、褒められて嬉しいっていう感情は確かにあって。
This is so strange.
そう考えてると、頭の中がごちゃってなっちゃって。
This poor girl. Kagari grimaced and held her head in her hands. The first time I'd met her, I'd been surprised by how much she looked like Krisa. But talking to her like this, I realized how different she was. The way her expression was constantly changing, and the way she always slightly overreacted was actually more like Mayuri. Was that because they were mother and child?
そのクリスの記憶はよく出てくるのか？
Shit.
前に比べると頻繁になったかも。
Huh, I don't know if that is good or not.
そうか。
ねえ、おかり。かがりちゃん、どうなっちゃうのかな？
I hope she won't lose herself in Krisa's memory.
本来ならちゃんとした専門機関で検査してもらうのが一番いいんだろうが。
But you can't do that right now. But given a position, it wasn't that easy.
あんまり検査はしたくないな。子供の頃もね、検査ばっかりしてたから。
Huh.
そうなのか？
PTSD を治すためだって言って。
Oh. So she didn't seem eager to be looked at either, huh? So they did try to treat her PTSD when she was little. If more of Kurisa's memories woke up, what would happen to her? Would she be the Shina Kagari with the memories of Makise Krisu? Or would she become Makise Krisu? A person's personality was more than just the sum of their memories. But memories were an important part of it. Once she had Krisa's memories, what would happen to her? At this point, no one knew. It was quite possible that up until now, no one had ever shared a person's memories before. Oh, this is fucked up.
時間。
Time for what?
あ、本当だ。ねえ、おかり。この後、かがりちゃんのこと任せていいかな？
It's time for what? Time to
これ
do?
から学校で進
Oh.
路についての説明会があるんだ。まゆしーたち、どうしても出なくちゃいけなくて。
I see.
すみません。
謝るなって。
Yeah.
心配しなくていい。かがりはちゃんと家まで送っていくから。
Surely nothing bad will happen.
あ
Surely.
りが
Yeah?
とうございます。それじゃあかがりちゃん、また明日ね。うん、ママ、
Oh,
また明日。
cute. God damn it. What? Yeah, what will happen to Kagari, bro? I don't know. Once Mari and Lukaku were gone, it was just me and Kagari in the room. After the problems of Kagari's memory started coming up, I'd been having her hold off on her job at the Brown Team workshop. But I was still having her come here as much as possible during the day in case something happened. Susa and Tennoji were downstairs. That alone made me feel better. Yeah, they are a powerhouse, bro. Yeah. I suddenly felt Kagari looking at me.
どうした？
改めて考えると、こうしてオカリンさんと話してるっていうのが不思議だなーって。
When?
不思議？
When?
どうして？
だって私にとってのオカリンさんはお話の中の人だったんだもん。
Oh, yeah, true. We died before I think she was born, right?
お話の中。
うん。ダルおじさんやママから聞くお話の中の人。
Damn. That's right. According to Susa, I was going to die in 2025, which means that in Kagari's time, I was no longer alive.
ママはね、いっつもオカリンさんの話をしてたよ。
Aww.
オカリンがママを助けてくれた。オカリンがママの彦星様なんだよって。
Hikoboshi. So, does the future Mayuri know that Rintaro went through timelines to save her?
あいつ、未来になってもそんなことを言っているのか。
So cute. Now it was my turn to be embarrassed.
だからね、私もずーっと気になってたんだ。ママがそんなに大切に思ってるオカリンさんってどんな人なんだろうって。
Well, it's yours truly.
みんなが話題にする岡部倫太郎っていう人がどんな人なんだろうって。
Yours truly, the
も
celebrity.
しかしたらちょっと憧れてたかも。
Huh?
からかうのはよしてくれ。
オカリンさんたら照れちゃってる。
So cute, man. Kagari clearly had the upper hand here. Yup. You lost.
でもそういう意味ではマキセ・クリスって人もそうかな。
クリスが？
Well, there's stories about Krisu too.
マキセ・クリスっていう人の名前もママやダルおじさんの口によく上ってたから。
Huh.
ずっと昔に亡くなっちゃったのにそんなに影響のある人ってどんな人だろうって。
Someone who developed the first time machines.
そのマユリはクリスのことをなんて？
オカリンさんの大切な人だって。
Yeah. Yeah. She is someone important to me. For me, that was an undeniable truth. But that wasn't true for the rest of the lab. In this wordland, Mayuri had never met Krisu, and I tried as much as possible to avoid bringing her up. But thanks to me, even in the future, she'd still feel that way.
そうだ。今から買い物に行くんだが、よかったら一緒に来ないか？
Ayo?
買い物？
ああ、まだこの辺りのことをよく知らないだろ。
Oh, man. His grief over Krisu is still affecting Mayuri even in the future. That's crazy.
いいの？
もちろんだ。
After what happened in the last Worldline, it was probably a good idea to keep her from going outside too much, but she probably needed a change of pace. It was still afternoon. As long as we stuck to busy streets, it'd probably be fine. Probably, right guys?
やった。実はね、いろいろ欲しいものもあったんだ。
Okay.
欲しいもの？
日用品とかいろいろね。
Aha.
ルカ子が用意してくれてるんじゃないのか？
そうだけど、
But I
で
need
もほら、
more.
ルカ君だって男の子でしょ。だからいろいろ頼んじゃうのも悪いなって。
Ah, I see. True, even if he was beautiful, Lukaku's a guy. Dude. There were some things he just wouldn't understand.
それじゃあ行くか。
Man, Kagari can be really cute, bro.
やっぱりすごいよね。
Outside! Grass! Kagari's eyes were shining as she looked up and down the street.
人も多いし、お店もたくさんあるし、ここがあの秋葉原と同じ街だとは思えないな。
Damn.
未来の秋葉原はどんなところなんだ？
一言で言うと、
Yeah.
そうだな。
Yeah.
瓦礫の山。
Damn. That's so sad.
まあ、秋葉原に限ったことじゃないんだけどね。
Susa had said that World War III would start soon, which meant that a young Kagari would have only known the world after that horrible war. Of course, that was all my fault, probably. Always blaming himself, even though there is some truth to that, but still. If I did what Susa wanted and went back to July 28th, would the world line change so that World War III never happened? Impossible. That world line were going to converge no matter what I did. The world lines were going to converge, yeah.
あ、オカリンさん、もしかして自分のせいだなんて思っちゃってる？
Yes, very obvious, I see. I guessed. She read my mind.
その反応は図星だね。
Yep.
でも、その考えはダメ。バッテンなのだ。私の知る限り、ママもタルおじさんも誰もオカリンさんを責めてなんていなかったよ。
Yeah, I guess it's always Rintaro's thing to always blame himself. To give someone a fault. Because, like, if you fault someone else for actions that are out of your own control, it is just that. It's just your frustrations of not being in control whatsoever. And so to control your anger somewhat, you direct it at someone, and that is yourself. That's what Rintaro does all the time, bro.
だって、ママたちはみんな信じてたから。オカリンさんならいつかやってくれるって。
Man.
ね。
No pressure?
その、シュタインズゲートだっけ？
Yeah.
そこに導いてくれるって。
Yeah. I am the religious cult leader, even though I didn't want to be it. I knew Kagari was trying to make me feel better. And that Mayuri and Daro would probably never blame me. But those words just made it worse, yeah. Because I'd given up on everything.
わあ、ごめんなさい。
Can she tell by his facial expression that she fucked up?
別に追い込むつもりとかじゃなかったんだけど。
I must have had a pretty dark look on my face.
あ、いや、俺の方こそすまない。でも、俺はもう。
I'm not a hero. I'm not the savior.
ストップ。今日はそういうのはなし。せっかく外に出たんだから、もっと楽しい話しよう。
You know what? I'll take this topic change with stride. Sure. Kagari's mind was probably filled with memories of a painful war. If nothing else, those were her only memories as Shina Kagari. But she was still trying to make me feel better. Even if they weren't related by blood, she really was Mayuri's daughter. Yeah, I can see the similarities too. Still, it was hard to come up with something that was more fun to talk about. Damn, that's depressing.
そうだな。せっかくだから、ママの若い頃の話を聞きたいな。
マユリの？
若いって言っても、今も若いんだけど。
I wonder if Mayuri still does the Stardust handshake.
でも、もっと若い頃の話。例えば。
Oh no.
人質の話とか。
No! No, why would you give this info to your daughter?
マユリはそんなことまで君に話しているのか。
Oh my god.
私ね、オカリンさんの話をする時のママの顔が大好きなの。
Man, talking back about all of the other shit we experienced in the previous game really feels like remembering your own youth. Your childishness, your teenage years. Even though Rintaro only aged 6 months, dude, it feels like 20 years at max, man. Because I don't know, them talking about the hostage stuff again and stuff just really throws me back a lot, even though not that much time has passed. It feels like the innocence just got ripped away through Rintaro's experience with time travel and stuff. We really had to grow up really fast, and so it feels like re-experiencing childhood when we talk about shit like that. So man, it's bittersweet.
とっても大切な宝箱を そーっと開けるみたいな、そんな顔っていうのかな。
Aw.
その顔とその時の声と、それを思い出すだけですっごくあったかい気持ちになれるんだ。
Aw. What a sweet memory. To Kagari Mayuri must have felt like a star shining in a world of darkness and mud. A star shining brighter than anything else in the night sky.
別に大した話じゃないさ。大好
What,
き
you
なおばあ
embarrassed
さん
now?
が亡くなって、ずっと悲しんでたあいつが今にも消えてしまいそうで、
Yeah.
それで口から出た痛々しいセリフだ。
お前は俺の人質だって。
Yeah. Hearing it from another person made me so embarrassed that I wanted to go hide. That is so real, bro. I'm pretty sure everyone had that experience at least once.
若かったんだ。
I was young.
若さゆえの過ちというやつさ。
Mm-hmm.
それでもその言葉はママを救ってくれたんだよね。
Yeah. Holy Kyoma saved a lot of people, bro.
どうだろうな。
If those words meant that I was holding her back, even all the way into the future.
オカリンさん、
そんなことより腹が減らないか。何か食べにでも行こう。
Holding her back. That's an interesting perspective on the words that he said to her before, of taking her as a hostage. Holding her back, huh? I wouldn't say that's quite accurate, but, you know.
うん。
I started walking ahead in an effort to change the subject. Kagari seemed hesitant as she tried to keep up.
何か食べたいものあるか。
私は何でもいいかな。
Not a picky eater.
そういうのが一番困るんだ。
だってこの時代の食べ物って何でも美味しいんだもん。びっくりするくらい。
Dude, everything in the future must have tasted like shit.
未来じゃ何を食べてたんだ。
お芋とかそういうのばっかりかな。
Yams and stuff?
あ、でもママが毎日違う味付けしてくれてたから。
Aw.
まゆりが？
Mayuri cooked?
うん。
Hey yo? Hey yo, she cooks?
まゆりの料理はその
Edible?
うまかったのか？
Verinto's brain is just like blown away.
そうか。
Is this still Mayuri? The human animal was capable of growth. See? What is this? The human animal? Bruh. Well, Yuki had been teaching her a lot lately. Maybe that had paid off.
だから私は何でもいいよ。
Alright then. Well, here we go. You better not complain.
お帰りなさいませ、ご主人様。
Why are we at Meikuinyanyan again?
おかりん、それにかがりにゃんも。
Hello, we're here to support local maid cafe business. I chose it to stop by Meikuinyanyan and it was packed.
今日は混んでるな。
Damn.
そうなのにゃ。今日からアニメとのタイアップキャンペーンが始まったのにゃ。
Oh. Come to think of it, there was a sign out front with some anime characters on it. I'd seen those characters all over town.
おかげで大繁盛で満席なのにゃ。30分くらい待ってもらったら入れるようになるんやけど。
30 minutes.
そういうことならまた今度にするよ。
Yeah.
な。
もっとゆっくりできそうな時に出直してくるね。
Yeah.
せっかく来てもらったのにごめんにゃ。
Unfortunate. God damn, we got rejected from the maid cafe. We left Meikuinyanyan and walked around for a bit, but it was lunchtime and every place we saw was crowded. Also, this goddamn walkway reminds me of very bad times.
すごいね。どこも人だらけ。
Yeah.
まったくだ。
Huh.
わざわざ外で飯なんか食わずに家で済ませればいいものを。
Well, what are you two doing, huh?
でもそれって私たちにも当てはまるよね。
Yep. Now then, what to do?
ラボで食べよっか。
言っとくが、俺は料理なんてできないぞ。
Of course you can't.
私も。
Oh, damn. Then that was out of the question.
簡単なものでいいよ。私あれ食べてみたかったんだ。ほら、お湯かけて食べるヌードル的なの。
You don't have cup ramen? in the future? That's insane. Cup ramen, you can hold that for so long. Like it stays. You can stay that, let them stay in your cupboard and it would hold for so long. Am I wrong? Like why has that run out? Hello?
カッ
What?
プ麺か？あんなものでいいのか？
未来だとね、工場がいっぱいなくなっちゃって、なかなか手に入らなくなっちゃったんだ。
I see.
ダ
Okay.
ルおじさんがいつも食べたいって言ってて、ずっと気になってたの。
Daru, dude. If she was okay with that, so was I. And they had just the thing. Did you? We bought a lot of instant noodles at the local convenience store. If there were any left, Daru would probably eat them. Of course.
すっごいね。カップ麺ってあんなにいっぱい種類あるんだ。
Oh, you don't know half of it,
今
man.
は未来と違って飽食の時代だからな。コンビニなんかでは毎週のように新商品が出る。
That's
そうな
crazy.
んだね。ね、この中のどれを食べてもいいの？
Yup. Kagari looked inside the plastic bag I was holding.
もちろん。好きなのを選んでくれ。
それじゃあどれにしよっかな。
There's so many. She looked just like a child, the way she put her finger to her lips as her eyes shone.
私これにする。塩味の。
Salt
な
flavor?
んなら2つでも3つでも食べてもいいぞ。
本当？
Huh.
でも食べ過ぎちゃうと太っちゃうしな。
I'll get fat. She had so many different expressions that I never got tired of watching them.
そういえばさっき他にも何か買ってたみたいだったけど。
Did he?
ああ、これだよ。
Oh! I took something plastic out of the bag. That's so cute.
これって
My fork?
フォークだよ。箸じゃ食べづらいんじゃないかと思って。
Do they not have chopsticks in the future?
自分専用のものにしてラボに置いておけばいい。
Aw.
いいの？もらっちゃって。
別に大したものじゃない。
Oh, he sounds so soft and sweet, Rintaro. Aw, man. Carissa had always wanted her own fork. I knew this didn't make up for anything. I just wanted to do it. I see.
ありがとう。実はね、私お箸使うの苦手なんだ。ママからもいつも注意されてて。
Damn.
あ、これ先っぽにウサギさんがついてる。かわいい。
Rintaro knew what to
私
choose.
専用のフォーク。私のもの、これで2つ目だ。
The other must have been the keychain that Mayuri gave her.
でもなんでかな。私これずっと欲しかったような気がする。
Carissa always wanted one.
もしかしてこれもクリスさんの記憶なのかな。
Yeah.
さあ、どうだろうな。
Yeah, Rintaro totally does not know.
ねえ
Totally.
オカリンさん、オカリンさんはクリスさんのことを好きだったんでしょ？
Yup. What? Never. Me? I almost choked at the unexpected change in the direction of the conversation. Come on. Be used to being called out, okay? You're quite
大丈
obvious.
いきなりなんでそうなる？
Totally not in love with her.
だって大切な人っていうのはそういうことでしょ？
Aw.
あ、
Aw.
で、どうなの？好きだったの？
Yep. She seemed genuinely interested. I guess she was the right age for that.
まあ、あいつとの出会いが俺の人生を大きく変えたのは確かだな。
Yep. True.
ああ、ごまかした。ずるい。でも人生を変えるほどの大切な人か。なんか憧れるかも。
She changed everything, past and future.
ねえ、オカリンさんから見てマキセ・クリスさんってどんな人だったの？
Ah.
気になるか？
自分の頭の中にある記憶の持ち主のこともっ
Fair.
と知りたいよ。
You know what? That's totally fair.
俺が教えなくてもそれこそ記憶として頭の中にあるんじゃないのか？
それが自分で思い出そうとしても思い出せないんだよね。
Yeah.
時々断片的に出てくるだけで。
Also, like, it's probably easier for her to differentiate whose memories are hers and whose are Krise's if she knows who Krise even was to begin with.
それも大抵難しいことばかり。だからもっと人間的な部分っていうの、そういう人となりとか教えてほしいなって。
Oh, here we go. Kagari had never actually met Krise, had she? If she was sharing the memories of someone she'd never met, it would make sense if she wanted to know more about her.
あいつはマキセ・クリスはとにかく好奇心の強いやつだったよ。
Yeah.
ふむふむ。
その上頑固で自分が正しいと思ったことは誰に何を言われても決して曲げることはなかった。
Yup.
そうなんだ。
Our headstrong Krise.
不遜で強がりでそのくせ寂しがり屋で。
Yeah. The memories of all the conversations I had with Krise and everything I'd gone through with her came flooding back into my mind. I talked to her here just like this once before, come to think of it. Not in this wordline though, yeah, in another where she told you to get your shit together.
それに怒ると怖かった。
怖い？どんな風に？
回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺すなんて物騒なこと言われたりしたよ。
Yeah.
へえ。
Only in the matter of speech, of course, she would never. And then for some reason she ran a few steps forward and spun around. And then...
そんなこと言ってると回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺すわよ。
Damn. Yeah, just like Krise.
今すぐ回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺してやろうかしら。
Yeah. God damn, she really is like her. But why? Krise.
なんてこんな感じ？
Yep. Just like that. For some goddamn reason you can perfectly mimic her. That is totally okay with me.
オカリンさん？
あ、いや。
Oh man. The memory flashback. The memory of Krise inside Kagari. If they could be perfectly replicated inside Kagari's head, would Shina Kagari become Makise Krise? It was a stupid idea. Personality and memories were different things. But even so, if her memories turned into Krise's completely, if that happened... Oh no.
オカリン。
No! Huh? Kagari wandered back up to me and put her weight against me. It was so sudden I caught my breath. I could feel her warmth on my chest. The feeling of her skin. It reminded me of Krise. Oh my god, this is so bad. This is so bad. If she actually becomes Krise... This is Mayuri's daughter. This is so fucked up. The sound of her pained moan brought me back to reality.
どうした係？
頭。
Shit.
頭が。
Oh shit.
頭が痛いのか？
Do we have medicine or something? Shit. She's struggling. Oh fuck. Kagari's body twitched in my arms.
やだ。もうあんなとこ帰りたくない。
Go back where?
助けて。誰かここから出して。
Out of where?
どうしたんだ係？
助けてママ。どうして助けてくれないの？ママ。
What in the fuck is happening right now?
落ち着け！落ち着くんだ係！
What in the fuck? What? I grabbed her hands to keep her from struggling anymore. The people on the streets were staring at me, but I didn't have time to think about it. By the way, also in this shot of Kagari and Anita, where the fuck was the cup ramen? I didn't see shade.
大丈夫。大丈夫だから。
Damn. So, was she captured? After she fled from the time machine and got separated from Suzuha, did someone capture her? And tortured her or something?
とにかくラボに戻ろう。
Holy shit. Holy shit. She'd finally calmed down, but seemed to still be in pain. I let her lean on my shoulder as I took her back to the lab. What in the fuck is going on? Once she got back, she went to sleep and didn't wake up. Okay, she didn't die, hopefully? That sounds fucked up, bro. So my headset is about to die. I'll do a quick break and recharge them. I'll save here. What? There's so much shit happening. Guys, I'm so invested. Like, actually, I cannot stop reading, scrolling, clicking. I'm sorry if my commentary is, like, subpar or not enough, because I'm, like, actually, like, invested in reading and shit. So I don't really have to say a lot to say about shit that I am currently reading about. I'm very immersed, is what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys. Hi! I'm back! Did you guys miss me? Sorry. Yeah. I always need to take a break, guys. Can you guys imagine me doing a 16-hour live stream, bro? I can't even record for like 2 hours in a row. The shit is incredible. Who the fuck? Nah. I could never yap for so goddamn long. Anyway, Steins Gate. We need to focus. Because we... Right. Kagari has some kind of episode on the bridge. On the pathway there. To the lab. And I don't really know what that was about, but that was kind of freaky, not gonna lie. Very ominous as well, so maybe we will get answers. That is what I'm saying in every goddamn episode, because I have many questions. Anyway, let us continue. Goddamn. Once you got back, she went to sleep and didn't wake up. Right, true, but she's not dead, hopefully. Goddamn, that sounded ominous. Her headache seemed to have calmed down, but sometimes she would still moan. I'd contacted Mari and the others, and they were probably going to arrive soon, but... The words she'd said before... Save me, mommy. Mom. Save me, mom. From when? I can't really hear anything. Let me check. Okay. Get me out of here. Out of where, girl? Also, is the audio working now? Okay, yes, the audio is working, finally. I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulties, guys. Let's continue. Damn. Because she's still calling for her mother. I think that was right after she got separated from Suzuha that she experienced this, whatever this is. Maybe she got trapped somewhere and that is why she's asking for her mother to save her. What was that? Were those fragments of her lost memories? If that was the case, then she really was.
Okari!
Hi! Just as I went to look at the clock, the door opened and Mari and Lukaku came running in.
Kagari-san, 大丈夫なんですか?
What do you classify as okay?
ああ、今はよく眠っている。
よかった。
Mommy! Ooh. She must have heard us talking because Kagari's eyes slowly opened.
Kagari-san.
Oh.
あれ? ここ、どこ?
She looked around afraid.
落ち着いて。ここはラボですよ。
Why is she so afraid?
ラボ?
Does she not remember?
日本?
Does she not remember?
そうだよ。日本の秋葉原だよ。日本。私、日本に。
What? What?
あ、そっか。私、交換留学で。
Huh?
そういえば、公演の準備は。
She's Krisa right now.
留学？様子が変です。
She's Krisa right now.
ねえ、おかり。
Yeah. Exchange program. Lecture. Those are Krisa's memories.
あれ？論文はパパに見てもらおうと思って。
Yeah.
頑張って書いたんだけど。
That's also Krisa.
落ち着け、かがり。それは君の記憶じゃない。
That is so whack, bro. Kagari looked up at me in a daze.
おかりんさん。
Okay.
そう。お前は椎名かがりだ。
Yes.
マキセ・クリスじゃない。
Yes.
かがり、私は
This poor
Shia.
child.
かがり。
Shit. Oh! What in the fuck? What is happening right now? What?
ルカ子、悪いが、かがりのことを頼む。
What just happened?
はい。
Hello? Hello? Kagari was confused for a while after that, but she gradually started to calm down again. Dude, she screamed her lungs out right there. Why? That's so, like, that's actually giving me shivers. What did Kagari experience that remembering her own memories gives her such torture? My god. Do I want to know? Good question. Once it seemed safe to do so, I'd taken her back to Yanabayashi Shrine. But maybe we weren't going to be able to look after Kagari ourselves after all. Maybe we should take her to a hospital? Was it my ego that was stopping me from doing so? I kept thinking about that as I walked along. The ego, huh?
マユシーも一緒に泊まることにするね。
ああ、そうしてもらえると助かる。
It would make Kagari feel a lot better.
なるべく普段と同じように接してやってくれ。
Yeah.
わかった。
She needs that right now. That emotional stability of her Kagari existence. I told her to contact me right away if anything came up, then headed back to the lab. Okay.
かがり、ひどいの？
What do you classify as bad? That was the first thing Suza said to me when I walked through the door. She and Maho were sitting on the sofa. I told them about the situation already via Rhine, but they were still worried anyway, probably.
今は落ち着いてるが、一時はかなり混乱していた。
やっぱりクリスの記憶？
ああ、ここまで来ると、
Yeah.
もう間違いないだろう。
Yeah. We've seen too much now. I still didn't know why, but inside Kagari's mind were Makisa Krisa's memories. The question was how to deal with this problem. There were limits to what we could do on our own. The most we could hope to do was figure out how this had happened. That wouldn't be a real solution. To really fix this, we needed to get her back to normal, to erase Krisa's memories and restore the original Kagari. And for that we needed the help of a specialist. Hiejo Maho was a specialist in that case. Okay, I got you. There was nobody else who knew as much about memories and the workings of the brain. But there was a problem. We still hadn't told her that Kagari was from the future. That is a problem. In this worldline, Maho didn't know Susa and the others that well. Of course, she didn't know about the future or the time machine. Was it okay to tell her?
ねえ、あなたたちはかがりさんとはどうやって知り合ったの？漆原さんのところに来る前は彼女はどこで何をしていたのかしら？かがりは千葉の県境で倒れていたところを助けられたんだ。
Yes.
意識を取り戻した時点でそれ以前の記憶はなかった。
True. That was the same as the last worldline.
でも子供の頃の記憶はあるんでしょ？鈴葉さんは彼女と知り合いだったのよね。子供の頃の彼女はどこで何をしていたの？
In World War III, it would be so much easier to tell her, Maho, about this. That way she could, like, actually, see the full picture of this problem and figure it out faster. Susa looked at me silently. What? You want my opinion on this? Is Kagari-chan okay? She's fine, don't worry. I'll do something. We're all doing our best. She's fine, don't worry. Am I gonna lie? I'll lie. But I'm so worried. You getting worried will just make things worse. Show her a smile. Yeah. This is harder for Kagari than any of us. We need to cheer her up. Yes, definitely. You're right. Thanks, Okarin. God, Mayuri is so cute, bro. She felt responsible for what Kagari was going through right now, probably. I could see on her face that she wanted to bring back the old Kagari somehow.
おじさん、どうする？ヒヤジョーさんに話しても。
I think we have to at this point. Maho was a scientist. If we told her the truth, she'd be sure to take an interest in time travel. She might start working on a time machine. True. This was a big risk. But...
かがりを救う方法を突き止めるためには
yeah.
やむを得ないか
I thought for a moment, then nodded. My priority right now was helping Kagari. Susan nodded back and then turned to face Maho. Well, Maho, I hope you are prepared to get your mind blown right now.
今から話すことを知っているのはごく一部の人間しかいない。だからヒヤジョーさんも決して他の誰かに漏らしたりはしないで。
Yep.
なんなの急に。
Well, heavy shit. Maho seemed overwhelmed by the sudden chill emanating from Suzuha, but Suzuha kept talking.
冗談に聞こえるかもしれないけど、冗談なんかじゃないんだ。
It's real, yo.
約束できるか否か、答えは2つに1つだ。
Maho looked at me hesitant, but she must have seen something in my face.
わかったわ。誰にも言わない。
We are also trusting her not to lose her shit, and also not to fall into the time travel research rabbit hole that Krisa fell into. That's quite a lot to ask of her. She nodded.
それじゃあ、まずはさっきの質問の答え。子供の頃、私とかがりがどこで何をしていたか。
Yeah.
私たちは第三次世界大戦が終わった後の未だ各地で内戦が続く戦時下に暮らしていた。2036年のね。
Don't laugh. Mao's mouth hung open for a second, but soon her cheeks flushed with anger.
からかわないで。人が真剣に聞いてるのに。
She is too. Suza remained silent. Her eyes were ice cold and staring straight into Maho's.
ヒヤジョーさん鈴葉が最初に忠告したはずだ。
Yeah.
これは作り話でも冗談でもない。鈴葉とかがりは25年後の未来からやってきた存在なんだ。
Yeah.
タイムマシンでな。
タイムマシン？そんなものが作れるわけが。
Oh my god.
その理論の大元を作ったのがマキセ・クリスだと言ってもか。
Yeah. That shut you up real quick, huh? The second I said Chris's name, the anger vanished from her face.
そんなの。
It can. It did happen, so it will happen rather.
わかった。聞くだけは聞くわ。
Here we go. Susa and I told her almost everything. How I met Kriso. About the D-mails. What happened in the Alpha World line. The development of the time machine. Mairi's death. Attractor field theory. What happened in 2036. What was going on with Kagari. The one thing I didn't tell her was the truth about Kriso's death. He always keeps that a secret. I'm not surprised about that.
とりあえず話を整理させて。
That's a lot of info.
つまり鈴葉さんとかがりさんは岡部さんに未来を変えてもらうために2036年からやってきたと、そういうのね。
Yep.
そうだよ。
Maho sank into the sofa and sighed.
岡部さんにそんな大層なことができるとは思えないわ。
You're not the only one.
たった一人の人間に全人類の命運がかかっているなんて。
俺だって無理だと思っている。
Yeah. I'd given up actually. On the entire future.
到底信じられない話ではあるけど、でもあなたの言ったその理論なら、
Yeah.
確かにタイムリープは可能かもしれない。
Yeah.
それに何よりその理論の元を作ったのはクリスなんでしょう。
Yeah.
だったら検証に値するわ。
But how do we fix Kagari though?
だってあの子は天才だもの。
Yup. She is the Amadeus. Her words together seemed like a mixture of admiration, jealousy, and envy.
信じるんだな。
その代わり今度見せてほしいわね。そのタイムマシーンを。
God damn.
乗ってきたって言うならあるんでしょ、どこかに。ある。すぐ近くにね。検証作業は必要だけど、とりあえず あなたたちの話を信じることにする。
Okay.
だからあなたたちも私に信じさせるよう協力して。
Okay.
分かった。
Help you turn into a believer. There was no hesitation in her voice.
ありがとう。
If Susa said it was okay, it wasn't my place to speak. Especially because she's from the future. If Maho was going to help, that was all that mattered.
話をかがりの件に戻そう。さっきも言ったように、はぐれたのは彼女が10歳の頃。そしてそれ以降、先月になって見つかるまでの足取りは全くつかめていない。
True.
俺はその間、彼女が海外にいたんじゃないかと考えている。
For how long, I had no way of knowing. It may have been the whole time, or perhaps only a week.
オカリンおじさんの仮説だと、ビクトル・コンドリア大学にいたことになるね。
I don't think she was there.
そして何らかの形でアマデウスと接触した。
But Maho said nobody touched the code. The look on Maho's face was one between acceptance and resignation. She sighed loudly. A copy of Chrysa's memory data had been saved for us by Amadeus. This data was the only possible source for the memories within Kagari's head. Her words today had only strengthened my theory. Exchange program, lecture. These fragments of memories were all from before she'd come to Japan. The memory data had last been saved just before she'd left America. That was another match.
この前、レスキネン教授に確認してみたんだけど、クリスの記憶データは凍結されたまま、誰もアクセスできないはずだと言っていたわ。
Can we trust him though?
ただ、それが事実かどうかを確かめる権限は今の私にはない。
Damn.
それに、プロジェクトが凍結される前に何者かがデータを持ち出したことだって考えられるし。
持ち出すことのできる人間はアマデウスの研究に携わっていた人間に限定されるんじゃないか。
Yeah.
そうとは限らない。
Oh.
外部からサーバーに侵入すれば誰にだってできることよ。
Dude, are we dealing with a hacker in this timeline? Anyone was an exaggeration. Your average person wouldn't have a clue. You'd have to be a super hacker.
問題は
There's no way this was Daru, bro.
岡部さんの仮説が正しいとして、なぜそんなことをする必要があったのか。
Okay, guys, Craig theory, right? What if, like in 2036 or whatever, when like Kagari and Suzuha got back into the past, what if during that time Kagari was 10 years old and already Krisa's memories were implanted in her even before she time traveled back? Because Daru hacked somehow into this. But that doesn't make sense though. Because I don't think as a child she had Krisa's memories. I think people would have noticed. So it must have happened during the time that she already traveled into the past. In 1989 or whatever that was. Until now. In this time frame somehow it must have happened. So, man, I don't know. The question is why. If your theory is right, why would they want to do that? Good question. I have no clue. The most obvious possibility was that someone wanted access to Max Krisa's mind. But Amadeus should suffice for that. There was no need to move her memories into another person's brain. And why would they want her mind that badly anyway? She was a genius, sure, but she'd only published a single paper. There was no reason to think it would be that important to anyone. Unless...
もしクリスの記憶の中にタイムマシン理論の基礎があることを何者かが知ったとしたら。
Well, in that way they could manipulate it or extract it in order to actually build one? Manipulate it in order to make Kagari as the host build one? I don't know. Someone out there would want it.
でも、クリスがその理論に行き着いたのは、あなたの言う別の世界線なんでしょ？
中鉢論文を知ってるか？
中鉢？それってロシアに亡命した？
Yup.
そうだ。
例の論文には私も軽く目を通したけど、とても論文と言えるものではなかったわ。
Well, it is Krisus though.
あれは劣化コピーだと俺は考えている。
Yeah.
オリジナルが別に存在するんだ。
On that laptop.
一体何の話？
ドクター中鉢の本名は牧瀬正一。 クリスの実の父だ。
Yeah. I thought back to what I saw that day. Again.
私も考えてみたの。タイムマシンは作れるのかどうか。
Yeah.
読んで。パパの意見を聞かせてほしい。
It is possible.
悪くない内容だ。
本当？
Poor Krisu,
こ
man.
の論文はパパと共同署名でもいいと私は思って。
Nuh-uh.
学会には出すな。これは私が預かっておく。
Little bear. I remember that. And Krisu was so shocked by that. As if she didn't know her dad was an
そういえ
asshole.
ばクリスが日本に行く前に言ってたの。父親に会うって。新しい理論の発表会をするらしくて、その招待状が来たって。
That day, Nakabachi had stolen Krisu's paper. And after he'd gone to Russia, he'd published his own paper. I hadn't seen it myself. Whenever I thought about it, I always thought about what I'd seen that day and what happened right after, so I'd been avoiding it. But I'd heard the professor at school talking about it. It was so terrible that it had become something of a running gag. Wow, get fucked, Nakabachi. But if it was just a bad copy of an original, if what had been published was just Nakabachi's own reinterpretation of Krisu's theory, and her original still existed somewhere else. That's right. Krisu had written the original theory. It had to be better than that. She'd actually succeeded in making the time leap machine.
それじゃあ、その論文の存在を知った誰かがクリスの記憶からタイムマシンに関する理論を取り出そうとしてるってこと？
Could be.
第三次世界大戦が起きたきっかけは EU とロシアによるタイムマシン競争の過熱なんだ。
Yeah.
そこにアメリカまで横やりを入れて収拾がつかなくなった。
Yeah, I
まさ
remember.
に時代は歴史通りに動き出している。
That's is great. Love that. Those people had attacked the lab in the last world line. Tennoji had said they weren't Japanese, but they were military. Some military wanted Krisu's time machine theory. That would explain why they chose to download her memories into Kagari's mind. That is still insane to me. Who did that to her? I'm worried about Kagari-san. Believe in us, we'll do what we can. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Believe in us. Oh. Right. That's right. I believe in you more than anyone, Okupe-san. Of course, and Hashida-san and Maho-san too. If there's anything I can do, let me know. I'll do anything. I'll let you know. Counting on you. So cute. I like this interaction more than the one I had with Mayuri. I should have chosen something different to answer. But well, nothing we can do about it. We can't time travel or anything, so, you know, we'll deal with it. Amadeus would never talk about something that it didn't want to talk about. But what about a human? There was no filter there. There were truth serums and torture methods. A human could be forced to talk, maybe. Maybe they'd done that to Kagari. Of course, this was just a guess. But if it was a military... it was a military that tried to kidnap Kagari, it was quite possible.
記憶のデータを脳に移植するか。
可能なんだろう、今の技術でも。
That is a crazy theory, Rintaro, and I think he might be right.
クリスはそれを成し遂げた。それはクリスが研究していたことの応用だと言っていた。
ええ、そうね。可能よ。それに、もともとアマデウスはそのために作られたものなんだし。
Yeah. Medical applications, wasn't it? Leskinen had talked about it at the seminar and Maho had interpreted. In this world then Amadeus had been shut down and the seminar had never happened though. Maho gave me the same explanation I'd heard before. I was right and memory data transplants were theoretically possible.
クリスの考え出したタイムリープマシンだってその応用だわ。
Yeah.
もっとも、そのどちらも自分の頭の中に自分の記憶を移植するという目的で作られたものだがな。
Yup. And Krisa had said that even that was dangerous.
じゃあ他人の脳に別人の記憶を移植するとどうなる？単純に
Good question.
OS の違う PC のハードディスクに別のデータをコピーというわけにはいかないと思う。
Especially if they did it to someone with not as developed a brain as Kriso, if there was a 10-year-old Kagari, for example. I'm not sure though. God. Whatever Kagari's past is, I'm afraid to know it. Holy shit.
そもそも人間の脳のキャパシティがどれくらいあるのかすら分かっていないの。
Yeah.
容量的なことだけを言えば、20歳の女性2人分の記憶くらいは余裕で保存できるというデータはあるけど。
Dado had once told me that the brain storage capacity was 3.24 terabytes.
だけど問題はそれ以外の部分。岡部さんの言う通り、自分自身の頭に記憶をダウンロードすることすらまだ実用段階には至っていない。
Yeah.
それなのに他人の記憶をとなると、いつ齟齬を起こしてもおかしくないわ。
Yeah, and also, when was Amadeus developed? If Amadeus was only recently developed, let's say generously in the last 5 years, then this transplant must have also happened in the last 5 years within Kagaria. Because there's no other way.
そして実際に今そのエラーは起きつつある。
Yeah.
このまま放っておくとカガリはどうなる？
I don't know.
ひょっとして
She'll lose her mind, maybe.
マキセ・クリスになってしまうのか。記憶と人格は別物よ。
Yeah.
脳の中で記憶を扱うのは海馬と大脳皮質。一方で人格は前頭前野の働きによって形成されている。それらの働きはお互い密接につながっている部分も大きいわ。
Different parts of the brain had different functions, but they weren't completely independent. Memories probably played a large role in forming your personality.
2つの記憶が混在することで脳に対する負担もかなり大きくなってるはず。
Yeah, I feel like her brain also has to process the memories that are like inserted within her, and I don't think that her brain fully processed this. So it's always like facts of data, so strings of data that are outside of her own personality. So I think she would just be a very fractured human being if she can't process this data.
このまま放っておいた場合、最悪カガリさんの人格は崩壊よ。
Holy shit. Susa slammed her fist into her knees in frustration.
それを防ぐ手立てはあると思うか？
カガリさんの頭の中からクリスの記憶を取り除くしかないでしょうね。
Yeah.
できそうか？
脳のデータが解析できれば、あるいはでもできるようになるとしても何年先か。
Damn. Shit. Susa's fists were clenched so tightly I could almost hear the sound. I could tell she was blaming herself for letting Kagari run away.
一つ手があるとするなら、もう一度過去のカガリさんの記憶を上書きすることかしら。
Overwrite her past memories.
もう一度記憶を？
そもそもカガリさんの記憶を操作した人間はカガリさんの記憶を残すつもりはなかったと思うの。
She might have been right. Putting two sets of memories in one mind was just asking for problems. Which means that the experiments they'd done on her had resulted in a different outcome than they intended. In a sense, they had failed.
だったらもう一度カガリさんの記憶をきちんとした装置で脳に上書きしてあげれば、あるいは元通りにできるかもしれない。
Overwrite her memories.
しかしそのためにはカガリの記憶データがないと。
Yeah.
バックアップが取ってあることを期待するしかないわね。
Ah, so okay, we have to find the person that did this to Kagari then and find Kagari's backup this time. Yeah, otherwise we can't bring her back.
装置はどうする？簡単に見つかればいいけど。ないなら作ればいいわ。
Make it?
そんな簡単に。
Dude, she's pulling the Krisu move by making her own equipment.
でも
Insanity.
クリスは作れたんでしょ？
Yeah. Oh, right. It had to work similarly to the Time Leap machine.
だったら私にも作れる。
If she can, I can.
作ってみせる。
Damn. I might be able to help with that.
問題は記憶データがどこにあるかね。
Yeah.
こればっかりは何とかして突き止めるしか方法がないわ。
How, bro? Will it just conveniently fall into our lab? That would be great, but there simply wasn't enough information. All we knew was that it was a non-Japanese Western military, and that information wasn't solid either. If anyone held the key, it was the woman in the motorcycle suit. Oh shit, true. Ha! I thought of her name and quickly brushed it from my mind.
何かいい方法でも思いついた？
いや、なんでもない。
Because they tried to kidnap Kagari. Like this motorcycle helmet woman tried to kidnap Kagari, thus she must know something about Kagari. I feel like you have to talk to Yuki at this point, bro. It wasn't Amane Yuki. It couldn't be. You sure? I wouldn't be so sure about that. We talked late into the night trying to come up with a way to find out who had done the experiments on Kagari. But even though we spent a lot of time on it, none of us had any good ideas. Yeah, they don't have enough to go off of. So, oh shit, my whole POV.
信じられない。
Huh?
でも本当なのよね。
What? Girl, what? On the train back, Hiyojumaho was having trouble controlling her excitement. Two girls who said they came from the future and took a bit into the story about the time leap machine. Normally she'd never believe them. But if Makisa Krisa's mind had made these things possible, she could accept them, because it's Makisa Krisa. Krisa was a genius. She just might be capable of it. To Maho, Krisa seemed capable of anything. Damn. And most of all, she'd seen it for herself. She's a miracle worker at this point. On the way back from the lab, Susa had taken her to the top of Radikan and showed her a real time machine. Okay, she saw it. It was night and she didn't have a lot of time to look at it closely, but she could tell at a glance that it was made with modern technology. Honestly, she wanted to start work on making another one tomorrow. No, right now even. But she had something to do first. Okay. I love the track, by the way. The time leap machine that Kurisu had made. She needed to make an improved version. That meant she was going to be practically living at Okabe's lab for a while. So she decided to get what she needed from the office in Wako City. Dr. Leskinen, please don't question me. What? From outside the building, she could see that the lights were still on despite the late hour. Dude, okay.
Maho.
Huh? Is it the lab? Oh my god, I can see how messy this lab is right now. Did someone break in? No way. Also, why was there just a single shot of the window? I feel like, are we gonna break out of the window or something? As soon as she got inside, Dr. Leskinen rushed over, his face pale.
何これ？
Dude, all the time, man. All the time someone is ransacking the office. The room had clearly been ransacked. Of course, the place barely had anything in it to begin with, so with a quick glance, it was hard to see what had changed. What? Are you kidding me? Is your office that messy, bro, in a way? But Maho and Dr. Leskinen's desk had clearly been searched. The drawers had been locked, but the locks had been broken and their contents spilled out. Dr. Reyes hadn't brought much of anything, fortunately, so she'd escaped with very little damage, but the drawers had been dumped out too. Maybe just for show.
何があったんですか？
Shit.
何者かが侵入したらしいんだ。
Yeah.
泥棒ってことですか？
私が来た時にはこの状態だったの。もしかしたら企業スパイの類かもしれないわね。
You two are kinda sus. Why? You two are working for military, at least in other world lines.
こんな何もないところで。
Well, clearly there was something there that they were interested in. Something. Wouldn't it make it more sense to hit the Raiken Institute next door? Only a few people even knew this office existed to begin with. Suddenly Okabe's words began to take on a new meaning for her. Could this have something to do with what he'd said? Was the secret war over the time machine already beginning?
とにかくマホ、君も何か盗まれていないか調べたまえ。
はい。
Don't tell me it's Chris's laptop, bro.
どうだい？何か取られていたものはあったかい？
いえ、私の方は何も。
Damn. Lucky. She checked the desk and the drawers and couldn't find a single thing missing.
教授たちは？
こちらも何も盗まれてはいないようだわ。
Okay.
PC の中も確かめてみたが、第三者にアクセスされた形跡は見られない。本当に何も取られてないかい？
That is so weird.
はい。
そういえばマホ、君のノート PC はどうした？もしかして盗まれたんじゃないか？
ああ、あれならホテルに置いてある。
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Your hotel room will be searched now.
そうか、ならいいんだが。
Oh no.
どうする？
She shouldn't have
警察
said
に連
that.
絡する？
何も取られていないなら、 ことを荒立てる必要はないのかもしれないな。
そうね。少し様子を見ましょうか。
I feel like Maho fucked up by saying where that laptop is. Someone is ransacking her hotel room. Maho wasn't sure that was a good idea, but she could understand that going to the police would be a big hassle, especially since they weren't Japanese to begin with. And more than anything, Dr. Leskin probably didn't want to lose time that could be spent on research. The same was true of Maho too.
教授、実はお願いがあるんです。
Okay. Huh? Okay. She's back in her room. Dr. Leskin agreed to give her a vacation much more readily than she expected. Maybe coming to the office over New Year's had paid off. Now she'd be able to focus on the time leap machine. Once she got back to her hotel room, she quickly got her things ready. She wasn't checking out of the hotel, but she needed clothes and other things, so she could stay at the lab for a while. Take that laptop with you, I swear to God.
あとは
Laptop. Laptop? Take that with you? Once she finished packing her bag, she grabbed another bag that was placed next to it. It was a laptop and a portable hard drive that she'd gotten from Krise's mother after her death. She tried many times to crack the password, but never managed to succeed. She knew that she wouldn't have time to do anything with it, but she still didn't want to leave it there. Well, I know... leave it here. Well, I know what the password is now, so... but she doesn't
そう
know.
だわ。確か彼
After she made one last check of her things and got ready to leave the room, an idea came to her. Not a bad idea if I do say so myself. Maybe this is what Krise wanted? She quickly shook her head and chased the idea from her mind. Krise would get mad at her. Life and death were like a binary, 1 and 0. You could be one or the other. There was no will that existed after death. If it existed at all. It existed inside the brain. Yeah. Did she want to revive Krise or something through this laptop? What was her idea just now? Wait. That is weird. Kind of weird. Oh shit, it's the 11th. Already? Several days passed and I still had no idea who had planted the memories in Kagari's head. Okay, actually, this is the perfect time to save my game. I'll overwrite this, yes. Alright. There we go. This is the perfect time to save my game, guys. I've been recording enough already. And next episode, we are building a machine to insert Kagari's memories back into her. Man, we have to talk to Yuki, bro. There's no other way. Well, what is Yuki's role in all of this? We'll see next episode, maybe, probably. Thank you guys for watching. And, yeah. Please, refresh your own memories by playing, I don't know, math on your Nintendo DS. I don't know, guys. Anyway, see you guys. Have a nice day and week. See you next week. Bye-bye.